Okay, good afternoon, everybody. It's Renee Tompkins with Layer Social Media. Today with another Social Media Plus Masterclass. We're calling it the Plus Masterclass now because we're going over more than just social media. The focus certainly will be on social media, but we'll also be talking about other online ways to grow your business through marketing. So today's agenda is proving your value, as well as content ideas to show you're worth the full commission you charge, whatever that may be. Getting followers. This tip will mostly be focused for new agents, but also I'll show you my strategic way of how I've been growing my own Instagram page. And it's been working. So I have some tips to show you there, as well as other online sites to grow your brand. We'll get into CTAs, which are your call to actions. And we're going to focus on hook statements today, strategic phrases to get people engaged with you. And then how to share forms and PDF downloads, as well as mindsets for success, kudos, and as always, recommended reading. So you'll want to take some notes or get your smartphone ready to take some pictures of some of these screens. All right. So expectations, as always, for today's masterclass is to maintain a growth mindset, as well as be open to making results-based changes that will grow your business. Take notes and interact by asking questions and sharing stories, and challenge yourself to develop your own social media success strategy rather. So this, for some of you watching this class who are looking to really grow your business on social media, that's the focus of our masterclass of this series. It's really not really for people that are just hanging on social media, but people that strategically want to grow their business by way of social media. All right, let's get in to today's session. First, I just like to break up this session with some mindsets. One is that I've always found impactful is don't strive to be well known. Strive to be worth knowing, especially in today's real estate landscape. I thought this was key. So I thought I'd share it with you. All right, let's get into proving your value. The first thing that I think would be very helpful for you to do before you really share your value is to believe in your value, right? And so one of the ways that I have found very helpful to do that is to write what's called a value proposition. And I think especially with all the things going on in the real estate industry, I think it is extremely important and wise for agents to be very focused on what they bring to the table for their clients. I'll share in some of the screens to follow some tips that NAR is helping us with. But I'd like to start today by talking about a value proposition. So what is a value proposition? Actually, pretty much it's a proposition that is a statement that talks about the benefits of doing business with you and what you bring to the table for your clients. And so I recommend having a value proposition for buyers as well as for sellers. And so you can start this value proposition by just jotting down a list of everything you do for each side, whether it be before, even pre-consultation, all the way through during the transaction and as well as after. You'll find that there's a lot, right? And there's some stuff out there from NAR. I'll share that in an upcoming screen of some of the things that they have put out for you. But I'm sure when you think about it, you can come up with a lot more that you do behind the scenes for your clients. And so this is part of comprising an impactful value proposition that I believe should not only be part of your consultations, buyer and seller consultations, but it should also be broken up into pieces and shared on social. So we'll talk about that in a bit, but you can certainly pick out certain pieces of your value proposition and share them, craft them through Canva, or just simply, talk about them on social media. But writing a value proposition is a strategic way to get started improving your value. And some inspiration for that, as I just mentioned earlier, go to the NAR website, nar.com, or I believe it's nar.com. It might be nar.realtor. Anyway, they have two downloads that you can easily save to your computer. One is 179 ways agents who are realtors are worth every penny of their compensation. And the second is 105 more ways. So I'm pretty sure between these two PDF downloads that NAR's got you covered for your value proposition. In addition, I thought I'd just throw out there that the ABR accredited buyer representative designation course is free through the end of 2024. So take a look at that if you haven't achieved that designation. I believe now would be that would be a very smart move on your part, especially right now. So here's what not to post on social media or in print advertising. And this is something that was common that we would do. Sold in 2 days, sold in 7 days, whatever it is. Avoid sharing stories like that, because basically what that says is you earned your commission in a really short period of time, and it doesn't really give the perception like you worked that hard for it. Now, that's not to say that there isn't success in that, but I think that perhaps we could share that in a different strategy. So here are some tips to do that. Paint a picture really of everything you did pre, during, and post to get that client to closing. You know, especially now where commissions are sort of being scrutinized, I think statements like sold in 2 days, sold in 7 days, there's a better way to share that success. I'm not saying that there's not success in that, but let's talk more about what you did really to get to that point. So let's share some details of the success. And again, keyword being details. So here are some content ideas for you to share. And you can share these through video. You can share them. That's always preferred. I will tell you hands down. But you can share them by simply making a post. And really, again, but being that epic storyteller. So going back to the first and second masterclass that I did, it's on the Lair YouTube channel playlist for social media masterclass. And we talked about being an epic storyteller. One of the books that I recommended to do that was called Stories That Stick. And then there's also the Storyteller Method. So check out those books if you really want to amp up how you are portraying yourself on social media when it comes to, geez, how do I tell this story? How do I get my point across? So those are some great books to check out. But anyway, here are some content ideas for you. Sold above this estimate, right? The spring market, summer market is, well, the spring market is upon us, summer market's coming. Chances of that happening right now could be pretty good. So that's the story that you want to be sharing. Another strategy could be going above and beyond, where you actually take some photos of you, maybe perhaps helping clients prepare their home for sale, helping them pack up their home for sale. You know, anything that you would have done that was above and beyond your call of duty. And here's another strategy. We exceeded the average sales price. This is a great story to be sharing rather than sold in 6 days, right? Another one is I became the problem solver. This is huge because this shares the emotion behind the transaction, right? It's all not, as I say, it's not all about puppies and rainbows. Sometimes there are actual stresses involved, and becoming the problem solver for our clients really showcases you in a very different light. It makes you stand above the pack. So I would say that's a very good strategy, as well as sold for under asking if you are representing the buyer, obviously. That's a huge success story for you. And then I listed and sold for sale by owner for over asking. I shared this story myself because I actually did this where I listed a for sale by owner and got him. Well, it's a long story, but anyway, I exceeded his expectations and he was very happy. So, but I shared that on social media, and as a result of that, I got 2 more listings, not right away, but I did get more business from that post because I shared the story behind the success. So this strategy certainly does work. And then another one would be I found and secured the home my veteran client wanted in a competitive market. Wow. Right. So not just I did it again, sold in 6 days, and then just blurbing out your client testimonials. This is actually storytelling at its best. So great content suggestions for you here. And then, as we talk about everything that's going on with the NAR settlement, address the elephant in the room, but do it in a very positive, professional manner. Don't talk negatively over what's happening. Don't bash anyone, and educate yourself on the facts first. I think the brokerages are doing an excellent job in ensuring that we have the best information out there. But you can certainly go to facts.realtor or competition.realtor for a summary of everything that's happened. And then I always say, watch your online energy. Anybody that knows me knows that I'm all about energy. And, we have an online energy too, believe it or not. We have an online vibe. And I always say, if you wouldn't share what you're about to post at a listing consultation or a buyer consultation, don't share it on social media. And I'll just throw out there again that I've said this in past classes, that even if you believe that your privacy settings are set, to just your friends or whatever, anybody who's screenshotting that screen now makes that post public, sort of, right? So watch that. We want to be the voice of calm. And this is really, I will say this, what's happening is really been given us nothing but an opportunity to showcase our awesomeness. This is our time to shine, right? This is our time to showcase our confidence. So I think of this of what's happening as nothing but an opportunity for us to protect ourselves and to be the outstanding rock stars that we are. So come talk to me, and I will maybe change your mindset about some of this stuff if you've got any concerns. All right. Some other ways that you can showcase yourself online is to do a client journey series. I've talked about this in the past as well too. I'm going to just take a quick sip of my tea. And this is preferably on video. I think it's much more impactful on video. So if you are working with a buyer, perhaps it's just you at first talking about how excited you are that you received a call from a potential client that you perhaps maybe met at an open house or has been referred to you, etc. And you're excited about the meeting, and maybe showcase all of the things that you do to prep for client consultations. So again, this is part of your client journey video series, preferably, but you can certainly also do it just by taking pictures and posting. And then before and after the consultation. So after you've met with them, maybe, so that could be your first snapshot where you're setting up for the consultation, check into your office or whatever location you're having the consultation in. Use your emotion feature on Facebook, excited at Lair Realty Partners in Chelmsford or wherever your office is. And, take some photos of the conference room, all the things that you've prepared. And then after, perhaps a thumbs up, how excited you are that you were able to sign new clients. You're excited to be working with them and guide them successfully to the closing table. So you've got 2 great content suggestions there for your journeys, as well as perhaps some of your showings. Sometimes I would put together a what are those books called? A scrapbook sorts of all the showings that we did through the journey. So that was part of their closing gift that I would prepare for them. But that could be part of your virtual, your social media client journey series. So all of the houses perhaps that you showed them. And then the elation of finding the one and the accepted offer. Now that's an emotional post, right? There's a lot of emotion that goes into finding the right home and having an accepted offer. I mean, I'm working through this myself as we're looking for a new home to buy here. So it's very emotional. And I think not just posting the photos, but really getting into becoming, again, that epic storyteller. Check out those 2 books. I'm telling you, they are well worth your time to read. Again, that's Stories That Stick and the Storyteller Method. And then the home inspection process. So this is really when we get into the actual you know, we take our, what I like to call, we take off the rose-colored glasses, and now we really check out the home. And then the client journey process from contract to closing. Perhaps if there was even an appraisal issue, let's talk about it. Let's get it out there. And then the final walkthrough, and lastly, the closing day. And definitely a client testimonial, preferably written and on video. That's the best case scenario. So definitely include the testimonial as part of your client journey. If they, for whatever reason, were not comfortable getting on video, get it in writing and then copy and paste it and make it part of that journey that you're sharing on social media. So, and then a seller client journey. You can do that by, again, sharing your excitement about meeting with new sellers, and perhaps tell the story about how they chose you, how you became connected with them, whether it was a referral, a mailing, a call, an event that you met them at, etc. And then your excitement, obviously, about meeting with them, and then before and after the consultation, perhaps what you do to prepare for the consultation, what you do to prepare for the market analysis as well. And then perhaps get some video shots of you helping them prepare for their home for the market. And then coming soon marketing, as well as the live listing. Always do that open house video tour, preferably live from the home, checking in on social media to the town that you're in. And then always with a call to action at the end, inviting people to come see the home as well. And then meeting with them to review their offers. That's always thrilling. And then talk about, though, again, don't just check in. I'm in Tewksbury, I'm meeting with clients today to review offers. Talk about your process of helping them organize the offers, about categorizing what they should be looking at in those offers, the fact that it's not just always about the price, and then also what you do to help vet the buyers, whether it be proof of funds or speaking to the lender, verifying any proof of funds for gaps in deposits, etc. So this is, again, part of being that epic storyteller. It's not just about posting the basics. It's really getting into the details. So this is part of proving your value now. And then also, as I said, the client testimonial, and it's much better if it's both written and on video as well. So I don't think those two books have ever been more needed than they are now. I would definitely recommend those two books, and it's not my recommended reading for the month. But again, I can't stress those two books enough. I'll make sure the links are put in the chat after, or the comment section after the video the class has been done. So let's get into some content suggestions to prove your worth for your buyer agent commission. So again, always be that epic storyteller, but here's some more strategic content ideas. Here's one, and many of us have done this. How I found my client their dream home before it hit the market. That's like, wow, that's awesome, right? And so even if you've done this years ago, start talking about it today, right? Because I would say if you've done this before, but you've never shared it on social media, still talk about it. Here's another idea: how I got my client's offer accepted in a competing offer situation. How I helped my client with a 520 credit score become a homeowner. Because this is real life for people, right? This is real stuff. So I think this stuff is much more relatable than just the standard stuff. I mean, and the standard stuff provides you with value. It's a good gap filler. It does lend to professional credibility. It saves you time on social media, so it gives you that presence. It helps with the algorithm. It helps all of that. So don't discard any of that. It's all valuable. But still, this class is specifically for people looking to grow their business on social media. So if you are one of those people, you've got to become two things: a storyteller, and you've got to be comfortable getting on video. Another story idea is how I got my buyer a lower interest rate. That really talks about the rate buy down. great suggestions here for content. I love it. So hopefully you're taking pictures with your phone. Another idea is to showcase your expertise is talk about why it's not always just about the price. What other components go into an offer? Whether it's buy or sell, really, but it really, there's a lot that goes into a contract. So make sure as you talking about, showcasing your expertise, this is a great content suggestion. The red flag deal breakers, right? It could be in a property or it could be as part of a contract. I mean, take it for what you like, but, and then first time home buyer mistakes worth avoiding, as well as how to have a home inspection without the contingency. Interesting. That would be very interesting, I think, to some buyers, especially in today's market. And then another topic that you can talk about is final walkthrough red flags. So some good suggestions there. Another tip is don't be shy. I think especially in today's market, we have to be out there. We have to showcase ourselves. We have to be the voice of confidence. And part of that is, again, some of us may say, oh, that's very boastful. That's very that's very this, that's very that. If it's done tastefully, I think that there's absolutely nothing wrong with knowing what you bring to the table and confidently speaking about it. So again, know what you bring to the table. And then perhaps another content suggestion is how trust has built my solid reputation. Talk about that. And here's another idea. My marketing strategy is caring for my clients. That's a great content suggestion. And then lastly, share the client testimonials, but don't just post about them. Share the story behind them. I can't stress that enough. Social media is you're going to see a shift in social media. And the agents who are shifting their focus and realizing, okay, I have this tool in front of me that's free for the most part, unless I choose to advertise on social media, it's free. And so I always say your connections are a room of people waiting to hear what you have to say. How can I best engage them? Through storytelling, right? And through interacting, through engaging, through being very purposeful on social media. So these are just some of the ways that you can do that. Here's a mindset moment for you. We're going to do a couple of these today. This is not failure. This is not what failure looks like on the left, right? It may be perceived as failure because you're thinking, well, geez, you didn't hit the target. But that's not failure. Not trying is, right? So committing to step outside your comfort zone is epic process. It's such huge progress. It's amazing and it's magical to watch and also witness within ourselves. So commit to stepping outside of your comfort zone when it comes to putting yourself out there and being vulnerable on social media. I think so many of us don't do it because we're afraid of what people will think. So that fear cripples us and we allow it to because we don't make any change. But I always say, if nothing changes, then nothing changes. Right? So if you're truly looking to change your game on social media, put yourself out there. Right? Just go for it. Again, I mean, make sure, I always say, am I being hurtful? If is what I'm doing unethical, illegal, or immoral in any way, right? And so obviously, no, then okay, let's put ourselves out there. It's okay. Stop worrying what people think. Okay, here is my strategic way to get new followers on Instagram. I have been doing this, and I've got just over 800 followers. Maybe that's not a lot to some of you, but I really haven't been aggressively growing my Instagram profile for just a few months now. I mean, I have been on Instagram for a while, but this specific account, I really wasn't actively growing until, like I said, a few months ago. So I will let you know what I've been doing, and it's been working great. So first off, I verbally ask the following people that I'm connected to, if they're open to connecting with me on Instagram. And that's all of my personal connections first. My family, my friends, my coworkers, anybody that I know on a personal basis, as well as my sphere of influence, my past and current clients. Even my current clients, I've asked, obviously if it's going well and everything's great, I just say, hey, would you be open to connecting with me on social media? Because I feel like it takes the relationship to a different level, and it's nice. So do that as well as to your affiliates. Anytime you're in front of a home inspector, an appraisal, a lender, an attorney, whatever it is, ask them to connect and follow you. And then I do, as I said earlier, clients prior to closing, and then small business owners as well. And I'm going to share with you my strategy on the small business owners, but back to clients. I mean, sometimes I have actually been told, no, I'm actually only using social media for close family and friends, and that's fine. I mean, that's their way of basically saying no. Totally cool. Everybody's got their own sort of rules as to how they connect and play on social media. Some of us, excuse me, just like I said, want to be connected with family and friends. Other people will connect with anybody and everybody. So, and most people are in the middle. But anyway, something to just be aware of. So here's my small business strategy, and I've been doing this, and it does work. So first off, I go into small businesses that I want to actually check out. I shop and purchase a few items. And then I ask permission to take a video or a few photos for social media. I ask whoever's working there. And usually they're like, oh my gosh, of course, we would love that. Explain that you're also a small business owner in the area and would love to share your experience with your followers. So they'll be like, oh my gosh, absolutely. And then ask if they'd be open to you writing a review of your experience on Google. Another one of those sort of reverse reviews things that I've talked about in past classes as well. And then ask, as you're checking out, ask if they'd be open to following you back on social media. I've said, oh, I just love it here so much. I definitely have to follow you guys on social media. Would you be open to following me back? Would that be cool? Would that be okay with you? Right? I mean, who's going to say no to that? You know what I mean? So I've gotten a fair amount of small local businesses to follow me here. And yes, I've done the whole, I followed them. I've posted the pictures, the video, etc. And I've written the Google review for them as well too. So it's a good strategy and it works. All right. Now let's talk another way too to get more followers on Instagram. This is something that I've been doing specifically. So you might want to take some photos here or write this down. First off, now the goal here is to follow people to get follows back. I'm not saying you shouldn't follow people because you just simply like their content. Absolutely follow whoever you want. And I do follow a fair amount of people that don't follow me back. Major pages, Tom Ferry, Katie Lance, etc. But this strategy I'm talking about really when you just want to get, you want to build and get those followers back. So first off, I'm searching for people that I feel are more apt to follow me back. And those are lenders, attorneys, agents, photographers, other small business owners, etc. But I look specifically for profiles with a higher number of accounts that they're following, right? So they're following more than they have followers. If you see my circled numbers here, this was an example from, I think, a week ago when I made this. I had 800, I was following 871, but I had 811. So I was following more, and that's what I'm looking for. Again, this is my strategy. And then check to make sure they're following a lot of other local accounts, that they're not just mass market pages, meaning, so now I go in and I see, like say it's Joe Smith from ABC Realty. I go into Joe, he's following more people than he has followers. But then I go in and I see, okay, he's really not following any realtors. He's just following Macy's, Crate and Barrel, he's following all these mass market pages. The chances of him following me back are pretty low. So don't just make the basis, just don't click follow because you see a higher following number than followers. You got to look to see what type of people they're following. And then check to see when they've posted last. Because some people haven't been on Instagram for quite a bit. However, I will say this. This is sort of like a fine line because not all people are posting to the grid anymore. Some people are posting a lot to stories. So that's sort of an iffy thing. But I do sometimes will look to see when they've posted last. And I'll see if they have a story going. And then look to see who engages a lot with other pages you follow. There's another tip, because if you're following, say again, Joe from ABC Realty, and you're seeing a consistent amount of reactions and comments from certain accounts that follow him, then check those out, because those people get it. They get how to behave on social media. So those would be great connections for you. But again, check out to see if you'll get a follow back. All right, so let's get into other online sites to help you grow your brand. Nextdoor is a community-based site that you can register as an agent to help grow your business, as well as Thumbtack. Now, I actually use Thumbtack here to hire a handyman to help us put together a treadmill and another couple of things, and loved the experience because unlike Angie's List, they didn't hound me. Maybe a few times, but other than maybe 3 or 4 emails to write a review, which I did. And then after that, they left me alone. So Thumbtack is a great website, and they do have a section for agents, real estate agents, to register as well. There's also Yelp for Business. I think this is an underutilized site for agents, and I don't know why, but you can get on Yelp for Business. I believe it's free. And then Google My Business. I will say though, the verification process is, they don't make it super easy, but once you're on, it's an epic way to build your brand, because most people, as we know, Google is the #1 search engine out there. So, I mean, the upside to the verification process being as challenging as it is you got to know that everybody else had to go through that too. So the businesses on Google have been verified. And so I would say to that, try to look for the silver lining as you're waiting to get verified. But certainly worth taking the time and being patient with the verification process. And then YouTube. I think so many of us spend our time on Instagram and TikTok that we forget about YouTube. And YouTube is the #2 search engine in the world. So I would encourage you to start, instead of putting your video, recording your video right on your phone through the app, so it goes right to the app. Start recording your videos either on your computer or on your phone, and then uploading them so that you can share them to other sites. If we're just uploading them, if we're just recording them right through the Instagram app, they're only getting seen on that one platform. So, all right, so let's get into tips for getting reviews. First off, because this comes back to showcasing our value, and being very, again, people will check us out online, whether it be Facebook, whether it be social media, whether it be Google, whether it be Zillow, Yelp, all of these sites that I've shared with you. We want to get in the habit of really asking for testimonials and getting reviews. So first off, we want to make it as easy for them as possible. Include a direct link to the review section of whatever page. So what I used to do is I would, before closing, I would not ask after closing unless they still didn't do it. But I would ask once the commitment's been issued. I knew it was, for the most part, it was a done deal. ask for the review, then verbally ask for the review. And then say, great, I'm going to send it to you actually today or right now would be great if you had your, everything in front of you. But just say to them, I'm going to send you today an email with the links of various sites. Just write one review. It's would be greatly appreciated. And then copy and paste that same review onto the various websites. That would really help me out. I appreciate that. And then again, reward the behavior. So perhaps take them for lunch or get them a gift card to thank them wholeheartedly for taking the time to help you out and grow your business. But the email would say, hi, Joe, great seeing you today. Thanks for agreeing to help me out by sharing your experience of what it was like working with me. A review as well as a star rating would be greatly appreciated on the following sites. P.S. No need to write more than one review. Just simply copy and paste it on these sites. Thanks so much, etc. And then, but make sure you're including the link right to the review page, not just to the site. Right. So even on Zillow, they have a request a review, copy and paste the link. On Google, same thing. You can go to your dashboard and right to over to the review section, request a review. So there's links to all this as well as Facebook, etc. And then follow up, in a bit if there's been no response. But you can even follow up that night and say, thanks again for the offer to write the review. I sent you the email with all the links. Hope, good seeing you, etc. All right, another mindset moment as I take a sip of tea. This is kind of epic. You don't get results by focusing on results. You get results by focusing on the habits and behaviors that produce results. And this is, as I speak with agents about their goals and stuff, I focus on, setting a goal is important, but also detailing the intentions that lead you to achieving that goal, right? The behaviors, the habits, very powerful. All right, let's get into some CTAs and hook statements. CTAs are your calls to action, and hook statements, hearing a lot about that. So CTAs are crucial when it comes to getting the results you seek, because I always say, especially as we're sharing video content or even posts on social media, I see agents will share some great graphics, some good captions, but they won't end with a call to action. So in my opinion, they're seeking just to be a resource, right? Not actually, they're not inviting anybody to reach out to them. So definitely start crafting your CTAs and use them in your bios, your social media posts, your web pages, your landing and really everywhere. Your calls to actions. I would use them as I hosted open houses. I started because I had memorized them. My call to action, if you listen to any of the video content that's on my Instagram or Facebook professional page, I always do two things. I introduce myself and I end with a call to action. So you can, calls to action should be everywhere in your emails, letters, flyers, sign-in sheets, consults, everywhere. And again, once you craft your call to action, it just becomes so fluid that you find yourself saying it. And as a result of that, ultimately, I believe getting more business as a result, because people won't see you just quote unquote as a resource. Let's get into some hook CTAs. You're going to want to take some photos here. Avoid using captions or calls to actions such as see caption, see link in bio for more info. That's not inspiring. That's not, yeah. So here are some hook CTAs. Thank me later. Here's my secret strategy. Oh my God, you will not believe this. That made me laugh when I was typing it. You won't want to miss this. I use that a lot. I can't believe I'm about to say this. Here's what no one else will tell you. My client let me have it. What do you think that one would be used for? I would say a testimonial, a 5-star review. Yeah. Someone has to say it. It might as well be me. I did that as well. So these are great CTAs, meaning, especially when you're doing video, you want to hook them. You want them to watch or read on if it's not a video, right? But preferably it's a video, and you want them to watch it. And I have to say, this is another reason I've been on the fence personally about getting captions put into my animated captions actually put into my video. I understand the purpose of it. I get that not everybody can hear it. My strategy though is I want people to hear my voice, because that's part of connecting with me, right? So I've been on the fence about using animated captions. I'll put it out there. I'll admit it, even though I understand the importance of doing it. So anyway, if you watch any of my video content, a lot of it does have these hook CTAs on it, where I don't really tell you a lot of what's in the video, because I want people to watch it. So my last video tip here is don't spill the beans in the headline or the caption. If you're posting video content, entice them to watch it, right? And my personal opinion is also to listen to it. So I get the animated captions, and most social media coaches will tell you to do it. And I will get on that bandwagon. I'll tell you to do it. But I personally don't use them because I do want people to listen to my videos. However, I understand that's not always the option. So at some point I will probably take that leap and do it. Another mindset moment, and maybe I just realized that could be a comfort zone thing with me too, who knows? But anyway, nothing great ever came from the comfort zone, which is 100% fact, 100% fact. Other things that I want to introduce you to, you ever see on social media, agents sharing forms for events, PDF downloads, comment guide to get my free guide on, this, that, and the other thing. So here are some websites that make that possible. You can also have them pay for some content. If you want to sell some content, you can certainly do that. But I want to give you the downside to this too. But first, let me tell you, they're Flowdesk, StanStore, and ManyChat. ManyChat's more of that automated chat response. You ever get a new connection on social media, and then you immediately get an email or an inbox from them that says, glad to be connected, or, that's most likely they're using ManyChat. I think there's a smart way to use that, and then there's an irritating way to use that. So certainly really analyze how you use these things. The downside to using something like a StanStore to promote a free guide, you really want the in-person experience, right? So what I would say is maybe use this type of thing for teasers, or you could not use them for guides at all, and maybe you could use them for events, or something other than a guide. But if it is a guide, make it a teaser guide, where you commit to giving them all the information at a consultation, or perhaps you can do it to sign up for a consultation. So I love the idea of it. I think we just need to be very strategic as to how we use these sites, because you don't want to take away that in person. You don't want to be giving your guides away for free and then not meeting with them. So you have to watch that. And as always, as we wrap up the bulk of the content, I will say, always think strategically and see the big picture. How can I connect? Who can I connect with today, and how can I provide value? So when we're on social media and we're talking about being purposeful on social media specifically, I always say one thing should definitely happen is you should have your CRM open as you're being purposeful. I understand some of us are on social media for fun, and great, that's all good. But if you are time blocked and it is part of your business building, you want to build your business by way of social media, then I would say start time blocking on social media in 15-minute increments, to be purposeful and connect with people, engage with people, and make notes of things that are going on in people's lives, and perhaps send them a handwritten note in the mail or a message through Messenger, following up to let them know, geez, I'm so sorry, or congratulations, whatever the thing is. Those types of things help build a relationship, sometimes taking it out of social media. And by doing that, you deepen the relationship, but also using your CRM along with social media, I think is very important. So, and I always say, treat social media more like a telephone than a television, and you'll get there. I promise you. So I have some kudos for February and March. Actually, these are people who have been putting themselves out there, making video content, doing a great job. So kudos to Brian Pereira, Matt Winterly, Lita Phillips, Sarah Lyman, Carol Labonte, Dan Capra, Olivia Paris, Kimberly Cuplist, Ann Soros, Brianna Lacouture, Jessica Provencher, Michelle Raposa, and Bridget Diorio for posting video content, putting yourself out there. As far as content suggestion goes, you can go through any of my social media masterclasses. There's a plethora of content suggestions. Follow other realtors and see what they're posting about. Obviously, whenever you do that, put your own spin on it. But it is about stepping out of your comfort zone, and these rock stars are out there doing it for the most part fairly consistently, some of them very consistently. So I would certainly check them out and follow them. But there's many accounts that you can follow, especially on Instagram, where agents talk about, anything that's going on in the marketplace, in their marketplace, and they're inspiring. So again, make notes of some of the, the agents that get the heavy followers, as I say, the 30,000 followers, the 40,000, the whatever. But follow them and see what they're talking about, and commit to stepping outside of your comfort zone. Talk to any of these agents and they will tell you how they went about succeeding. So great job to all of you. And these are just agents that I'm connected with. So if we're not connected on social media and you want your call out, then let's connect. Yes. All right, let's get into mindsets for success. This one will always be on here, so I could see the eye rolls already, but yes, it is there every month. It's lean in and level up. Excuses don't get results. Absolutely, 100% true. Another impactful mindset is, as you think, so shall you be. I think Wayne Dyer said that. I'm not sure. And then I always say this one, but I'm 100% sure it came from somewhere. If nothing changes, then nothing changes. So again, this class is specifically for people looking to grow their business on social media, which means now more than ever, stepping outside of your comfort zone and getting comfortable being uncomfortable, whether that's being that epic storyteller or putting yourself out there on video. And here's another tip for video: limit your retakes. This wasn't part of my masterclass, but I'm going to put it out there, is limit your retakes, which means don't, at the very beginning, when you're starting, I wouldn't do more than 5 retakes, but now I don't do more than 3 or 2. And then I just pick the best one and put it out there. So don't spend all day doing retakes at all. Off track here. Sorry about that. All right. Another mindset for success is you are confined only by the limits you set for yourself. And really, I love this one, is shift your mindset from I have to I get to. So whenever you find yourself dreading something, think about perhaps how little this thing is in your whole life, and try to spin it to perhaps an opportunity to learn and grow. So always be looking to shift your mindset to the most positive way possible. And then if you don't ask, the answer is automatically no. And my last one is progress over perfection, 100%. So I love that one. Progress over perfection for sure. I read another one. It said all or something instead of all or nothing. So if you're an all or nothing personality, which I am, so I get it, and I'm definitely working to get better at that. Become a rule breaker means we build a lot of rules inside of our mind as to things that we are, things that we will do or not do. So work to break some of those rules. I can talk about that in my next class because I know I'm getting off track. But anyway, my recommended reading for the month is The Go-Giver by John Berg and John David Mann. It's part of a series actually, but this is, I believe, the first one. And a quote from that book is, "Your true worth is determined by how much more you give in value than you take in payment." I thought that was pretty impactful. So I have this series, actually have not read it yet, but it's calling me, it's calling out to me because I look at it almost daily. So I will definitely commit to reading it. And if any of you have read it, let me know how you enjoyed it as well. And if any of you are on Goodreads, I would love to connect with you on Goodreads. You can search for me, Renee Tompkins on Goodreads. Love to connect with you there. And then also, if you're looking for social media inspiration or would love to connect, I would love to connect with you, and I'm glad to follow you back. So if you can search for me at The Real Renee Tompkins, you can find me on Facebook, Instagram, Threads, YouTube, and Pinterest. So search for me there, and I will certainly follow you back. And feel free to watch my videos and get inspiration from it. Craft your own video as a, from the content that I've provided. Just put your own spin on it and share away. I think that's amazing. So any questions? I'm free for questions. Just text me on the chat and I will hopefully have the answer for you. None coming through. All right. So thank you so much for watching and joining me for another Social Media Plus Masterclass. The next one should be out in April, so watch for the schedule on that at the Layer Realty calendar on the training calendar. Have an amazing month, and thank you so much for joining me. Bye.